be here today. Just for everyone's sake, we are recording this event. So if ever in the Q&A session, one of you did not wish to be recorded, please do let us know about it in the call chat. Thanks very much. So my name is Dr. Lilia Giugni. I am a lecturer in inclusive innovation and sustainable learning environments here at the Bartlett School for Sustainable Construction at UCL, as well as an educational and social justice advocate, writer, and researcher. Perhaps more relevantly here, I am also the MSc's head of program, and I very much look forward to telling you more about it, and of course to taking your questions later on. Well, before we start, I would also like to thank very much my colleague, Dr. Kell Jones, and our valiant student reps, Peter and Kelsey, for being here with us and representing our MSc today. And so I would invite them all to very briefly introduce themselves.
Thanks, Lilia. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kell Jones. I'm a lecturer also in the Bartlett School of Sustainable Construction. My lecturing area is more about supply chain management and procurement within the construction sector, but I have interests that overlap with the program, in particular in terms of the sustainable development of the built environment. Kelsey.
Hi, I'm Kelsey, the student rep. I will talk with you. Oh, sorry.
Please go ahead.
I will talk with you my experience about the learning this program later.
Thanks very much for being with us, Kelsey. And Peter?
All right, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Peter, and I'm also the other student rep of this program. And yeah, I'll be answering questions that related to how this program affected me. And yeah.
That's wonderful. Thanks very much, Peter. We're very pleased to have you both with us. Wonderful. So the way this is going to work will be as such. My colleague, Dr. Jones, and I will deliver a short presentation. Then we have prepared a few questions and prompts for our student reps to share their experiences with you. And then we will open the floor for an open Q&A. So that is the opportunity for all of you who are connected to ask any question you might have regarding the program or the application process. So I will start by sharing a few thoughts regarding the mission of our MSc. That is about the strong and passionate and diverse community of knowledge and practice which we are building for this course. And also perhaps a few thoughts about how we see you as prospective students coming in and contributing to this effort. So we can all agree, I think, that delivering effective, inclusive, sustainable education is one of the greatest challenges that the world faces today, tellingly and constantly listed as a top priority among the United Nations Development Goals. For truth is, promoting quality education and quality learning environments for all really has the power to help us address so many broad societal issues. To begin with, education is possibly the greatest equalizer on earth and can help communities break the cycle of poverty. Education does also enable us to reduce gender and racial and class inequalities, and it can empower people everywhere to live healthier lives in greener communities within more tolerant and more peaceful societies. But unfortunately, progress towards quality education globally is still much, much slower than required, with especially tragic learning losses in the global south. Moreover, today's learning environments and processes worldwide are still very far from being truly socially and environmentally sustainable. So where do we come in? How can this course help? And how will you be able to help once you have hopefully joined our network of students, alumni, researchers, and practitioners? Well, to to answer these questions, I might first of all need to say a few quick words about the history of our program. In fact, our MSc has existed for a few years now and has been known so far as Learning Environments MSc. But it has been renamed just this year, and it has undergone a quite exciting restructuring process, which we believe has even further enhanced its pedagogical and its overall impact. So this is why we're now very proud to present to you the new MSc in Design and Management for Sustainable Education, an innovative, transdisciplinary course, which is, we believe, rather unique globally, and which blends education, management, sustainability, and of course, us being Bartlett, the built environment. So what will students within this newly restructured, newly reshaped course do? Well, you will learn to first design, second, manage, and the third, transform sustainable learning environments, with the ultimate goal of promoting positive educational, social, and ecological outcomes. This means, of course, that the MSc will cover a very wide range of topics, from designing energy-effective schools and universities to improving learning in existing institutions and existing education providers via the latest digital technologies. We will also, as I'm sure our student reps will tell you, we will also very consciously teach you how to promote equality and diversity in educational spaces and how to reinforce collaborations, cooperation between learning actors and their communities. Hoping you like the sound of that, I will perhaps spend the rest of this short presentation just giving you a glimpse of how exactly these topics will be covered in the MSc, and citing perhaps some of our specialized modules as a way of example. After this, my colleague Dr. Jones will give you instead perhaps a more punctual overview of the MSc structure and of how this module that I will mention now do fit into the bigger picture. Right, so first of all, we are proud to say that our MSc is specifically designed to help you understand and address the increasing global demands for educational and environmental justice in learning spaces. Decolonize the university, Black Lives Matter, Me Too on campus, Fridays for Future. So over the last few years, all these various global social movements brought about quite big radical changes in the views, the needs, and the expectations of learners worldwide. And they've also gradually, but I'd say visibly, redesigned the strategic priorities of schools, universities, and other educational providers. So our MSc purposefully aims to do justice to these shifting needs, shifting demands, shifting priorities, and it does so by drawing on this kind of very rich, diverse mosaic of both academic and professional expertise, and of teaching, learning, and networking activities. So take, for example, our module Towards Sustainable Learning Environments that is led by my great colleague, Dr. Margarita Garfias. So as part of this module, you will learn how to generate educational strategies for more resilient futures, with the special focus on the Global South. You will learn, for example, how to assess and to improve both the environmental and social sustainability features in buildings and estates, from daycare to schools to adult education actors. And you will do that not only through traditional lectures or seminars, but also by meeting and interacting with and learning from specialist engineers, architects, and sustainability professionals from across Latin America, Asia, Africa. Second, crucial learning objective of ours. For many years now, I'd say all key actors in the education sector have been concerning themselves with how digital innovation is truly transforming, renovating, reshaping learning and teaching. And technological development in the sector is, of course, still ongoing, and it is very fast-paced. So with all this in mind, our MSc has also been shaped, has also been set up to equip you with the skills, with the knowledge, with the connections you need to meet such challenges. For instance, the module Learning Environments in a Digital World, which I lead and teach myself, will guide you through the economic, social, and ethical implications of cutting-edge learning technologies, from AI in education to smart buildings to design justice digital labs. And in this module too, like in all of our modules, you will have the opportunity to meet and learn from top-notch practitioners and to visit the exciting places where these innovations are actually being experimented with as we speak. Finally, as I mentioned at the very beginning, education and educational spaces play, to this day, a crucial role in addressing wider societal grand challenges. To name again just a few, the climate crisis, poverty, urban exclusion, intersectional inequalities. So based on this, our MSc explicitly aims to promote what the UNESCO calls education for development. And we seek to achieve this not just by touching upon these global issues and covering these global challenges as part of our teaching and other academic activities. We also do this by building and by involving you in cross-sector collaborations with both local and global actors. Social enterprises, startup incubators, community hubs, schools, real estate and tech companies, policymakers, which you get to interact with as part of the program. Speaking of networking, I should probably mention that from this year, the MSc has been based in the heart of UCL's Bloomsbury campus. This offers our students even greater access to all the insightful field trips and exciting industry speakers, which, as I mentioned, are a key part of our pedagogical approach. So yes, in a nutshell, while here in London and then later on, so as our student first and then as part of our alumni community, you do become a part of such global hubs and networks which will of course benefit your own future projects and careers. And I know that Dr. Kell Jones also has a few words to say on employability and the careers prospects opened by the program. But perhaps even more importantly, we believe that these networking opportunities will also help you build and drive positive cycles within your own communities and societies. So here we go. This was a quick but hopefully enticing glimpse of what we do and why we would very much like you to join us. I would like to close by thanking you for your attention and by saying that I and we truly mean it when we say that here we are in the business of reshaping for the better, not just educational spaces, but global educational futures. And we very much hope that you want to embark on this adventure with us. Thank you. Cal, over to you.
Thank you. So my role here is to sort of guide you through the higher level conversation about the program, how it's structured, what we expect our students will end up doing. Lilia's covered a few of the things. There may be a little bit of repetition in what I'm saying, but really my role is to just guide you through why we think it's a great program and why you should join us. If you could advance the slides, that'd be great, please. Thanks.
Words.
So the program overall, and Lilia has mentioned this, and I should contextualize what I'm saying. I was the program leader prior to Lilia taking over, and I'm now the deputy on the program. So I've been engaged with this space for some time now, and I'm very excited about the changes that we've been making over the last few months and years, because it increases the relevance of a lot of the work we're doing to people who are coming into the space. And I think it's one of the key things that we want to draw out about the program is the interdisciplinary nature of the problems that we're trying to solve. And so we draw expertise and insight from so many places, between the physical world and the digital world, but also the social world. And Lilia, if you can just jump onto the next slide, please. fading through there. So what we try to do is to bring insights from policy, from real estate, from the building services perspective, to really give you a holistic vision of not just learning environments, but buildings more generally and the context within which they sit. There's aspects that we explore, the design of those spaces, the design of the services. There's conversations about project management. How do you deliver these things? How do you deliver and maintain these spaces? So we bring all of these threads together to give you this whole picture of the problem of the design and management for sustainable education. For me, that was one of the most exciting things about this program, is that we come at it from different angles. And we have an external advisory board who also echo this multifaceted experience that's needed to address the problems in the learning environment space. So how do we deliver the program? If you could march on to the next slide, please, Lilia. As Lilia mentioned, the program is delivered right in the heart of the UCL campus in Bloomsbury, where I'm sitting right now. One of the feedbacks we get from many of our students is being in the heart of London is one of the most exciting parts of being at UCL. Obviously, the learning is amazing as well, but being in the centre of things here in London is so good. We have the resources of London. We've got the British Museum the British Museum just down the road, the British Library just around the corner. We also have UCL's wealth of facilities here as well. Don't enjoy it too much because you do have some learning to do when you come with us. And the modules are taught over 10-week periods. So historically, we've been teaching in blocks, but we've changed that this time, for next term, to be taught over 10-week blocks. And there are over 2 terms, 4 modules per term. Some of them are shared with your relatively compact cohort for the program for design and management, sustainable education. But also half of them are shared with other programs, and there's 3 other programs that we're sharing you with. And that process of sharing means that you are able to learn from your colleagues on other programs and to get the insights from those areas to expand your knowledge from those multiple disciplines. The other thing that Lilia mentioned was that we are trying to encourage you to expand your skill set. And as part of that, one of the things that we do on this program is to assess you through presentations and essays and group activities. And we want you to go back into the world after you finish this program with a strong skill set of presentation skills, of group activity and group presentation skills, as well as your theoretical underpinnings and your industry knowledge. And as a footnote, you could also take this program on a part-time basis, or as most of our students do, on a full-time basis. So the next slide really starts to talk about, I think we've probably covered many of these things already in the presentation. I'm just going to draw out a couple of the points from this slide. So as well as the sort of literally the nuts and bolts of how we build and create these built environments, the program also gives you an opportunity to rethink what value relates to when you're thinking about learning environments or educational environments. What do we mean by value? Is it just the sort of real estate pounds, shillings and pence, or yuan or dollars? Or actually, is there a broader conversation to be had about the value that education brings to society? And so we invite you to focus on those to understand that. And we do that through problem-based scenarios. And as Lilia has already mentioned, lots and lots of interaction with live organizations and projects that are ongoing around the world. And all this is contributing towards you developing a specialist knowledge in a rapidly expanding and a rapidly changing field, not just in the digital technology area, but also our understanding of how the interaction between the learning environment and learning is growing and shaping all the time. So it's an amazing developing field to be going into. The next slide, I think, is on the course structure. And so this is talking about the different modules that we have. So we have one that explores the strategic ideas around quality and project management. So this is where you learn about value, about how to deliver that value through project management. We have conversations about real estate solutions and systems, which are the physical how of servicing buildings, but also thinking about the real estate sector in a broad, systemic way. Space and workplace management is about how you manage and design and redesign the spaces that you have. That's one of the modules that's delivered with the colleagues in other modules. And what they will then allow you to do is to focus in on your specific type of workplace that you're interested in. We're interested in learning environments and educational spaces. And so we'll help you to understand how educational spaces can be delivered efficiently and effectively. And then we have one looking at digital innovation as well, collaborative practice, working together, how you can work together to deliver effective digital solutions to the problems that we have. The bottom four, so the top four are the modules that we are always sharing with other courses. And the bottom four, so the effective learning environments towards sustainable learning environments, etc., those are the ones that you'll sit with your cohort, and you'll see that those are very closely tailored towards your specific requirements on the MSc program. Then finally at the bottom there, you've got your dissertation, which is every master's students will be doing a dissertation, and that's a third of the credits for the module. So you've got the first 4 bullet points there represent the shared modules with other programs. The second 4 start to look at your specific modules for your program, and then the dissertation, which everyone has their own. We expect you to learn from the process going through these different modules to hone your interest, your areas of interest, which will shape what you want to deliver through your dissertation. If we could, a couple of clicks onwards, I think the next 2 clicks draw some boxes just to sort of show that those are grouped together. So Lilia, again, has already spoken briefly around this, but I wanted to just do a deep dive into one of the modules and to explore how we look at these modules and what we want you to get out from them. And so this is about sustainable learning environments, or towards sustainable learning environments. And we look at sustainability as a grand challenge that needs resolving, and learning environments and educational spaces are a fantastic way of addressing many of these grand challenges relating to sustainability. How do we define sustainability, though? Is it narrowly relating to ecological environment, or is there a social element to this? Is there a justice element to it? So what do we mean by sustainability? We explore this in a much larger context. And the module also explores how global contemporary changes are affecting whether or not we can deliver education sustainably, whether we should, how we can, how we don't. And again, the proposal for next year is to have lots and lots of problem-based study informed by external speakers and site visits to understand the learning environments more fully. Next slide. And so the final slide here is really looking at what the areas we expect our students to go into. Now, we recognize that there's a very competitive marketplace out there, but by focusing in your expertise into this space of the design and management of sustainable education, we can foresee students going out into one of many pathways because it is so interdisciplinary. We have students going into, some go into the built environment professions, so consultants advising on how to design and deliver and manage learning environments. We have students who've gone into the policy-making sphere. We could also go into teaching or the education sector and designing schools from within. But you could also go into technology businesses to help design solutions to deliver digital technologies which will allow learning to be more virtual in the future. And finally, we see people moving towards consultancy as well. So how do we influence the policymakers? How do we influence the people delivering these things? So consultancy is a very valid pathway for students coming off our program. So we have multiple pathways that you can go down because of the multi-dimensional aspects that we explore during the program. I'm going to just stop for breath and have some water and pass the microphone back to Lilia.
Thanks very much, Cal. Well, while you catch your breath, I will stop sharing my screen. And if that's okay with them, I will open the floor for questions to Peter and Kelsey, our student reps. So Cal and I have prepared a couple of questions and prompts, which we thought might be helpful for them to share insights regarding their experiences at UCL with you all. So Peter and Kelsey, could you tell us a little bit about your experience of the MSc, perhaps about what you most enjoyed as part of it? You can, either you can take this question or you can both answer, whatever feels easier and brighter.
Okay, I will share my experience. I'm so enjoyed it so far. I think the most important thing is the field trip integrated into the course. For example, in one of Lilia's modules, we visit a square and discuss the surrounding local community. This hands-on experience helped me to better understand the course material in a more vivid and profound ways as it brings the concept to the life. I think that's my answer.
That's wonderful to hear it, Kelsey. Thanks very much. Peter, I'm not sure if you have something to add to this?
Yeah, I totally agree. The future part is really creative and interactive way of this course. And I will also say like this course really it's really important for me that all the lecturer and our professors and including staff like Cal and James, they're really looking forward to help you, like the interactive way of the staff and students, and just how wonderful all the staff are, and they're all resources for students to use as if they need it. So I think the entire team of this MSc is just making this course just more enjoyable.
Oh, you're making us blush, or at least you're making Cal blush.
It's very kind of you to say that, Peter. Thank you.
I have a second question for you, and then I'll hand it over to Cal, but I know has a couple of questions as well. So what would you say are the most important things you learned as part of this course?
For me, I think the critical thinking is the most important thing. And about the connect with the course, I think we learn more about the real estate and the define of suspend sorry. Nice. I think that's it.
Great, fantastic to hear. Peter?
I would say I really agreed the point that you, Lilia, mentioned that education can actually change the world. So I also have the similar opinion, which I think education is like a foundation of a country, because they raise our generation, which is from children to adults, and the whole process is shaped by education. So I think this course teaches me that education is actually not what we thought it is, because it's very different around the world, including different areas, including areas with different wealthy level. So it's really important to bring the to add equality and avoid inequality of education around the world.
Wow, that is again truly wonderful to hear. It's my turn to blush, and I'll hand over to Kel.
Thank you, Lilia. So people may have noticed that I love London. I've been brought up in London, and I will always bang the drum for it. But could you tell us a little bit about your experiences of being a student at UCL and in London? And what was your favourite thing about your time here?
Regarding the UCL, I must say that everyone here are incredibly friendly and always willing to offer the sport. Like just for us program at the start, Cal tell us the whole timetable to what should you do the whole year for your program, and then we have jams who always offer you to help you to recording your attendance or something you feel trouble about your IT problem or something. And the school UCL also provide a wealth of resources like careers and academic writing. So all of these ensure students are very well supported.
Thank you.
Okay, so I would say as a student in UCL, especially in London, which is a relatively big and well-developed city, so I would say there are a lot of chances and opportunities in the city. So as it's a master course, so most students are facing going into the job market, which London offers various of opportunities and different range of corporations, which not only for education, it's also for, like Kel mentioned in his presentation, like this. If you're taking this course, it's not mean that you have to go to a certain career. So London offers opportunities for different career choices, and which I think is really feasible for students who want to apply this MSc. Yep.
Thank you, Peter. And it's one of the reasons why I love being in London, because there are so many opportunities around there. You can both find those opportunities and engage with them as well. So it's one of the reasons why I love the place. So final question for you, Kelsey and Peter. What advice would you give to future course applicants?
I think my advice to anyone would be not to worry or be afraid. You got the best teachers, and there are always people willing to help you. And you should study hard.
Kelsey's making me cry. Thank you. Peter?
Oh, yep. I would say for future applicants, just be open-minded, and also for being a student at UCL, it's not only because it's it's a master level studies, and don't take it just as a study course. So please use all the resource that the university provides, and engage with the university, and try to just try to enjoy. And pressures are always here, but like some pressure make you like it's positive, like a little pressure, but don't put too much pressure on it. So yeah, I would say just enjoy the course by utilizing all the resource of the university. It's not only just study.
Amazing. Thank you, Peter. Thank you, Kelsey, as well. We hadn't primed them to say these things, but we do put a lot of time and effort into supporting our students because it's so very important for us. So it's really nice to hear that that's appreciated. So thank you both for letting us know. Lilia, back to you.
Yes, we do care a lot about our students, and we hope to stay in touch with them. So I would very much echo Peter's thoughts. We want you to come here and enjoy your time with us, and enjoy not only the teaching you get in the academic activities, but as Peter mentioned, all the many opportunities that are opened up to you by virtue of being at UCL and being in London. So, okay, with the remainder of our time, I will suggest that we open the floor for questions. So for those of you who are listening, do feel free to chat, to use the chat option to type questions in the chat, or you can just unmute yourself and ask your question live, whatever feels easier and more comfortable. I can see we already have a question here, which I'm going to read. Thank you so much for your introduction today. I am aiming to work in government education departments to improve learning environments through this program, but I don't have a background in architecture. Would that be a challenge? I'm very happy to take these, and of course, Cal, feel free to follow up. No, absolutely, it won't be. As both Cal and I emphasized, this is very much a transdisciplinary programs. So our purpose is actually to bring here people with diverse backgrounds. So we have had in the past students from an educational or social science background, for more traditional design or architecture backgrounds, from the broadly meant real estate professions, with a background in business and management, and of course, depending on your previous studies and work experience, some modules may be a bit easier or a bit more challenging for you, but as both Peter and Kelsey mentioned, you will have help along the way. So absolutely, I would say it is not an obstacle at all. I don't know if you want to add something to this, Cal.
I will just follow up with a short statement. So everyone has their own areas of expertise, but because this is such a diverse program bringing in qualitative and quantitative methods, people will find that they have areas where they naturally will be stronger. And one of the things that we find is that students bring their skills to the conversation. So you don't just learn from the lecturers, you don't just learn from the presenters and the site visits, you learn from each other. And that's one of the reasons we try to bring together a cohort that is varied. And so we welcome people who don't have the design experience because we want them to learn from people who do, and vice versa. So absolutely, that's not a problem at all. And we look forward to receiving your application.
Yes, I will heartily echo that. Thank you. I cannot wait to apply and join this program. That's wonderful. We look forward to hearing from you. Any other questions or curiosity or doubt or comment for us, or for Peter and Kelsey, of course? Let me give you a few more minutes. Meanwhile, while we wait to see if there are other questions, perhaps it would be useful for me to mention that applications for the program are open until early summer, so until the end of June. However, we strongly recommend, if you're interested, to apply as soon as possible, because we tend to make offers for places on a rolling base. So in order to avoid disappointment, we recommend that you apply as early as possible.
And I will put a link to the web page for the module in the chat, so we can you
Yes,
can just click on the link and apply.
Yes.
I can actually find the chat
And
button.
of course, should you have any follow-up question that you wish to ask the team via email, you'll find all relevant contact points on the link that Kell is now sharing with you.
Trying to share.
Lovely.
That hasn't gone to everybody. Bear with me a second. There we are.
Perfect. Thanks very much. We're going to give you another extra minute to ask questions if there are any. Before we say goodbye, is there anything else that you wanted to share, Kell?
We just had a question come up. Can they get the PowerPoint? I'll respond to that. The presentation that we're recording is going to be made available. I think the conversation we had was on the YouTube channel. Is that correct? Yeah. So the PowerPoint will be embedded in this recording. So you're very welcome to revisit the recording. We won't be sharing the PowerPoint individually with you, but you can go back and review it through the video online.
Absolutely. Wonderful. So if there are no more questions, I think the only task left for us is to thank you all very much for your attendance and your attention. I'd love to thank very much Peter and Kelsey for taking the time to be with us today, for the valuable insights that they shared. It is always a pleasure to work with you guys. And well, Kell, thanks very much for being my buddy in this. And we very much look forward to hearing from you and receiving your applications in due time. Goodbye, everyone.